Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. So till now we have completed till the 12th case study, right? In the last video it was the 10th, 11th and 12th case study. So in this video I'll be covering 13th, 14th and 15th case study, and these are the last two videos for the case study based MCQs. And regarding your preparation for ISCA, what I'm saying is that when you're studying ISCA or listening to the case studies, whenever you're unable to recollect any particular chapter in any of the case studies, don't worry. Complete the case study and go back to the revision lecture, either the recent one or even the old one which have been recorded somewhere in 2020 or 19. So though it may be an old one, but still ISCA has no amendments, right? It is still relevant. You can use the entire playlist for the particular chapter. It's available in the channel, and then you can revise that, because there will be some chapters which may seem some tricky. For me it was always chapter number 5. It is a big one, right? You can do that, but don't lose your heart and don't leave any chapter behind. You got the time, you have to revise, and you need to make your weak aspects of the paper to be strong. Okay, so let's get started. What it's saying, the case study number 13. ABC Capital Finance Limited, the company of, or the ACFL, okay, was inaugurated on 21st July 2019. The company is registered with the Reserve Bank of India as a non-banking financial company. Maybe chapter number 7 is talking about, let us see. By certificate number N13.14.2019, head office, corporate office of the company situated in Mumbai. The company is primarily engaged in lending business. There are 10 regional offices and 255 branches located all over the country that use various type of remote access information system for smooth and fast processing of different type of loan applications all over the branches and regional offices. Okay, so they have wide branches, wide areas, their offices are distributed, and they use what they're using, remote access to information system. Okay, the company has adopted an internal control work in line with Section 134 subsection 5 clause E of the Companies Act 2013. Okay, and as per clause 49(5) C and D of SEBI equity listing agreement ensures that orderly and efficient conduct of its business, including adherence to the company's policy, safeguarding of its assets, and prevention and detection of fraud and error, accuracy and completeness of information to various stakeholders. So you can say it's somewhat they're trying to explain more of the internal control policy, but in line you can say chapter number 1 is covered here. Okay, then uh, company is hosted on a robust data center and disaster recovery center. Chapter number 4 has designed on fundamental principles of data security, data integrity, data availability and data scalability, and has strict information security procedure. So even the security things has been covered. Chapter number 3. Okay, chapter number 3 and chapter number 4. Company also entered into a reciprocal agreement. This is the alternate processing facility, chapter number 4 thing. Okay, it has entered into a reciprocal agreement with TBJ Capital Finance Limited, the internal business group company, as one of its strategists in disaster recovery planning. The management of the company appointed a reputed Mumbai-based chartered accountancy firm called as DKT, specialized in the IS audit, for conducting information system audit of the company. So chapter number 6. If you have observed in most of the case studies, chapter number 6 comes somewhere or the other. So that is the importance of chapter number 6. Don't take it to be small one. It is important. Even if you have seen my weightage based video also, chapter number 6 has 16 marks minimum. Though it is small and cute, it is important. Okay. Further, the company is now gearing up to enhance the technology capability across other areas such as mobile computing, chapter number 8, cloud computing, BYOD, and adoption of computer framework, chapter number 1. Okay, based upon the facts and case scenario given above, choose the most appropriate answer to the question number 13.1 to 13.8. Okay, let us start. In the first, sorry, the first one. In the given case scenario, provisions of clause 49 5 C and D of the SEBI equity listing agreement issued by the SEBI in India is on the similar lines of SOX regulations that has made major change in internal controls by holding responsible for establishment and maintenance of internal controls. Okay, so what is the question you're asking about? He said nothing. Okay, let us say. Okay, who is responsible for establishing and maintenance of internal control? That is the question. Okay, so mostly it will be, come on, managing director of ABC Capital Finance Limited, board of directors of ABC Finance Limited, audit committee of ABC Finance Limited, CEO, CFO, and ABC Capital Finance Limited. Okay, in the first instance, audit committee will not be answer because the audit committee can't be made responsible for the internal controls, right? What is the question saying? Yeah, major change in internal controls holding responsible for establishment and maintenance of internal control. So who is responsible for establishing and maintenance of internal control? Alone managing director can't do that, so managing director and audit committee are out of the question. Okay, so they are not a part of the answer. So between B and D, board of directors of ABC Capital Finance Limited or CEO CFO of ABC Capital Finance Limited, here they are saying who are held responsible for establishing a maintenance of internal control. Understand, they are asking the particular responsibility. Board of directors will come into play for taking a particular decision, but responsibility lies on the particular head on the key manager personnel. When he has responsibility, then only he gathers the board meeting and takes a decision, right? So the answer will be D. CEO CFO of ABC Capital Finance Limited will be held responsible for the establishment and maintenance of internal controls. Bit tricky. Okay. Mr. Ravi, a member of the IS audit team appointed by DKT. He is evaluating whether a high quality information systems plan formulated by the top management of the ABC Capital Finance Limited is appropriate to the needs of the company or not. What he is trying to do, he's trying to evaluate if the plan, the information system plan adopted by the top management is meeting the needs of the organization or not. So what is the activity he is working? Again, read closely. He is evaluating if the plan is appropriate or not. Is he leading any team? No. Is he organizing an activity? No. Is he planning? Yes, he is planning for the audit. He is planning the audit day based upon the plan made by the management. He is evaluating to know what kind of plan for the audit he has to do, right? And he's not controlling. So what he's actually doing? He's working on the planning activity because based upon his evaluation, the audit can be planned. Okay. Then, a vehicle loan application filed in an indoor branch of the ACFL can be accessed by the sanctioning officer for scrutiny at its head office situated at Mumbai. In the given case, which of the following systems are very useful for a sanctioning officer at a head office for remote access of vehicle loan application? So somewhere in indoor branch, a person applied for a vehicle loan and it can be accessed by the sanctioning officer at the head office. So what's happening? We are having remote access to documents. So when can we have remote access to documents? It can be possible only if we have an electronic document management system which will enable anywhere anytime access to the documents, right? So it is not about the message communication, it is not about text processing, it is not about teleconferencing, but it is about electronic document management system. I think one such kind of bit has come somewhere in the previous case studies also. We had the same answer, managing the documents from remote location. Okay, whenever this remote location document comes, you can take this answer without a second thought. Okay, then ABC Capital Finance Limited has strict information security procedure. One of the requirements which have to be adhered under these procedures is to set a strong login password. Which of the following is an example of strong password? So strong password will be a combination of alphanumeric numbers more than 18, minimum 18 length, or it can be even more than that. Small combination of alphanumeric numbers, capital, small with symbols. So I think if you see even the entire four, the D option will suit well because it is about more than six, so it is somewhat lengthy compared to others. It has a capital, a small, and a specific this special sign also. Of course, had it been a numerical number also, it would have been made even much stronger. But compared to others, it is bit more strong because it has a combination of small, large letters and a special symbol. Okay, then IS auditor requires to check whether the application system is calculating correct interest on the loan provided by ABC Capital Finance Limited. Now I hope you got a hint of what tool the auditor should use. The thing they are saying is the auditor must check if the system is calculating proper interest on the loan. Proper interest means the interest actually that must be applied on the particular financing done. So what you will do in general, what he's saying, using a creation of dummy entity in the application system. So they want to enter a dummy data and see how the interest is being calculated on that dummy data. Dummy data means which tool, integrate test facility must be the tool there. Identify which of the following auditing techniques in this is this process referring to, so that authenticity and accuracy of the process can be verified. So snapshot is taking photograph of the transaction process. Integrate test facility is a submission of dummy data to know how the transaction is going through. Audit hooks is for raising specified suspicious transaction. Audit trail will show the events happening for the entire transaction. So integrating, having a dummy data and knowing how the things are working on it is an example of the integrated test facility. So what our technique is being used here, integrated test facility. Next, ABC Capital Finance Limited entered into an reciprocal agreement, come on, with the TBJ Capital Finance Limited, okay, internal business group company, as one of the strategies of disaster recovery planning. So what they're trying to do, what type of risk method they're trying to, risk approach they're following. They're not trying to transfer the risk, because transfer comes only when given to an insurance company for certain particular amount. They're not terminating the risk by taking all the measures. They are treating the risk, you can say. They're treating the risk, taking that, okay, if this thing happens, we move to such kind of we'll move to their place, so that our systems can be given some time to recover and we can continue the operations on their system. So they're treating and mitigating the risk. But they're not tolerating it, they're not accepting that risk to happen. So by taking this alternate processing facility to be a reciprocal agreement, they're trying to treat or mitigate the risk. Next, XYZ Limited is engaged in providing data processing services, okay. It received a big contract from ABC Capital Finance Limited, okay, NBFC, for its various loan processing activity. XYZ Limited has limited personal computers, okay, some virtualization maybe, at their office. So they approach Amazon Web Services to provide them access to virtual machines. So what is happening, they don't have enough infrastructure. So they want to hire virtual machines without spending much on the physical stuff. So what services are trying to adopt? They're trying to take access to virtual machines for data processing. So the question comes, they approach Amazon Web Services to provide them access to their virtual machines for data processing. XYZ Limited is using which cloud computing service model? So they don't want to invest in infrastructure, so they want to use the virtual machines of some other place. So what kind of cloud computing model they're using? They're using infrastructure as service, because desktop refers to infrastructure. They're trying to go that into virtual mode, so infrastructure as a service. They're not accessing any software for processing, they're not taking any platform for developing software, they're not using anybody else network for getting an access, but they're using the desktop as a virtual machine. That's why it is infrastructure as a service. Then ABC Capital Finance Limited has effective internal control system that includes segregation of duties. Is segregation of duty useful for the company? Why? Of course, yes, it reduces employee cost. No, no, employee cost is not reduced. Segregation of duty will increase the number of employees actually. No, it is count. So answer is yes actually. So between A and C, one should be the answer, and A is not the right one. It actually increases the cost because we hire more people for segregating the duty. So C should be the answer. Let us see. It reduces fraud risk and facilitates accuracy check of one person's work done by another. Exactly. It will reduce the fraud risk and one person will do the work done by another. Therefore, segregation of duty is helpful to the company. Right? So this is completing the case study number 13. Now let's go to case study number 14. Looks bit big, but still, yeah, very big. So we have 6 questions for such a big paragraph. Don't get panicked if such things comes in the examination. The questions will be easy for the big ones. When your concept is strong and right, everything will become easy for you. Okay. Next, Great India Grameen Cooperative Society Bank Limited, established in the year 2000. It is a single state scheduled rural cooperative branch that provides banking facility to some villages of Rajasthan only. In 2001, an internal review was conducted by the Team of Inspection and Supervision Department of the National Bank for Agricultural Rural Development. NABARD that highlighted certain key control issues that as follows. Okay, let's see what are the issues. So chapter number 3, protection, will come under the picture. Then the password policy were prescribed but not implemented by the bank. Okay, the branches used outdated security manual or documentation of security procedures. So chapter number 3 is coming into play. There was only one ATM machine near the bank premises which had deposits as well as withdrawal facility. Its maintenance was also through at the third party. The service level agreement was not renewed since last 3 years, and also there is no security guards in the last 6 months. And the ATM is still safe. Wow. During the inspection, it was observed that while refilling cash at ATM machine, the presence of security guard was not mandatory. It should be, right? Illegal and unauthorized software were installed on few computer systems of the bank. Oh my god. Antivirus software was not updated on few computers of the bank branches. Disaster recovery plan existed but was not tested by the employees. During inspection and inspector maybe. Inspector and supervision team. No. During inspection and supervision team observed a fraud where an employee has transferred a small amount of money from various account holders to his own account while rounding off the computer's banking system, maybe salami technique. The fraud turned out to be 2,49,587. After review report, the NABARD instructed the Great India Gramin Cooperative Society Bank Limited to sort out the security control weakness and demanded a reasonable assurance for the better security control in future in effective and efficient manner. Of course, it has to demand that. Subsequently, the bank worked on all the observations made by NABARD and established the following controls. Good, they worked it. Highly qualified IT personnel were appointed at every branch. Strict follow-up and compliance of information security and password policy for the users. Fulfilled the mandatory requirement of two personnel for accessing and refilling cash in the ATM machine. Exactly. I still remember, maybe day before yesterday, my bank mobile application, when I tried to access it, it said password is 3 months old, please change. And I have to change it to access it. So that is the controls there, right? Then predefined role and responsibility of each employee were good. Regular training on risk awareness was given to every employee on the periodical basis. That's also very good. Updated antivirus software, intrusion detection system, and firewall on all the computers. CCTV camera were installed in every branch of the bank. Biometric attendance system was made compulsory for every employee of the bank. New service level agreement with the ATM caretaker company was renewed to provide ATM security guard. This is good. They are taking good measures. Let us see now. Based upon the above facts and case scenario given above, choose the most appropriate answer to the question 14.1 to 14.6. Wow, only 6 questions. Let us try. Come on. Under which control Great India Gramin Cooperative Society Bank Limited has implemented the mandatory practice of appearing two personnel for accessing and refilling cash at ATM? So here, which type of control? This was repeated. We got this even last time in some bank case study. So we have two people for accessing and refilling the cash. So it is a dual control. It is not input-output verification. It is not a supervisory control where one person sees what other person is doing. It is not a maker-checker concept. No one is making the cash and no one is checking the cash there. It's dual control, means both people do the work there in accessing and refilling the ATM machine. Don't you think so? Right? Next, inspection team observed a fraud where an employee transferred a small amount of money of various account holders to his own bank account while rounding off. Yeah, I suddenly remembered, my students, the practice manual, right? I don't know if it is there in the updated practice manual. Let's someone see. If it's not there, you have my email ID in the channel information. Okay, you can write a mail to me. I have this old version of case studies. Okay, at the time, if you remember, maybe in 2000 till 2016, I do remember that the case studies used to be the first question, of which they used to give 4 questions and we need to write that. The entire first question of 20 marks used to be a case study and 4 questions for it. If you see the last papers from till November 16, it is at the same pattern. So, and after that, the I started using MCQs and the practice manual got updated. So if it's not there in that, do reach out to me. Not in the comment section, but you can see my mail ID in the channel information. Okay, and you can find my mail ID there. You can write to me, and if you ask for that case studies thing because my previous version of the book had the case studies in which I have even given the answers. It is not MCQs. It is a normal case study with question answers following it. At least you will get a brief idea of the case study, right? If you need, you can drop a mail to me and I will send it to you. Of course, free of cost. Don't worry for that. And if you want to buy my last day revision notes for revision and MCQ based PDF or combo of last day revision and MCQ, everything is available at 50% off, and the links are given in the description box below. Let's continue. Inspection team observed a fraud where an employee transferred a small amount of money of various account holders to his own bank account while rounding off. The fraud turned out to be, of course, we know 2,49,587 rupees. Identify the appropriate example of rounding down technique. Okay, I think I said salami technique, right? No, it is rounding down technique. Sorry. From given below, which may be used with an employee. Okay, turning. You have to turn. Come on, turning 102.02 to 102.00, 102.022, 102.10, 102.022, 102.50, 102.022, 102.5. No, he is not increasing, he is not rounding up to the next number, but he has to round off to the below number and make it a fulfilled number there. So the A bit, so turning, taking 102.02 rupees to 102.00, taking that 0.2 paise into his account. In the given case scenario, cashier had also right to authorize the withdrawal of the check. Oh my god, no segregation of duty. Okay, of the account holder. This will be covered which type of operation control issued in the bank. There is a lack of segregation of duty, right? Even the first one only will make us understand. Lack of appropriate segregation of duties. Okay. Then, from the given case scenario, it is observed that the proper division of work and responsibility are necessary to ensure that one person cannot single-handedly commit a fraud. This can be achieved through using the concept of, again, the same segregation of duties, right? It is not about access control. Access control is for everybody, but it is asking that one person cannot do a work single-handedly to commit a fraud. So there should be a segregation of duties between two people. So there is a proper division of work. So division of work does not come under access control or need to know least privilege, but segregation of controls or division of work comes under the concept of segregation of controls. Okay. Then Great India Grameen Cooperative Society Bank Limited has password policy but not implemented properly. Therefore, users were able to keep short length password for the convenience to access the banking system. Short length password means making the weakness, yeah, it is a weakness available that will lead to a threat that will expose the system and they can be attacked to that. So this is the weakness in the system. Having short password, weakness means vulnerability, right? Then Great India Grameen Cooperative Society Bank Limited implemented a new and strict password policy where users have to keep minimum 8 characters alphanumeric login password, and then password must be received after every 30 days. Oh, to get access to the banking system. As per classification of the information system control, which type of control is this? I think it should be preventive control, right? So they don't want any new attack to happen. That's why keeping password policy saying 8 digits alphanumeric change in 30 days. So they're preventing the risk from manifesting. So it is preventive control. Okay, so this is the easy and cute, not cute, sorry, but it is easy and small case study, 14th one. So let us see the last case study for the day, 15th one. Okay, but let us see the questions. How many questions is given? Only 5. Wow. Let us start. Chalo. Then the recent past, Indian private sector has invested heavily in the IT infrastructure. However, the concept of cyber terrorism, chapter number 7, okay, chapter number 3 also, theft of data, hacking and denial of service attack on any company's website are alarming. There is a huge increase in attacks on website and theft of data. The information related to these attacks is usually kept under strict policy and avoid embarrassments from the business partners, investors, media and customers. Huge losses, chapter number 3, sometimes remain unaudited, and only solution of the company have found is to develop a model where one can see a long run business led approach to information security management. Of course, they should have a policy in place for a long term basis for information security management. The companies are adopting the approach to build their security infrastructure. One of the models that help companies to maintain IT security through ongoing integrated management of policies and procedures. Okay. One of the models that help companies to maintain IT security through ongoing integrated management of policies and procedure, personal training, selecting and implementing effective controls, reviewing their effectiveness and improvement is information security management system. So they're trying to get the information security management system definition into their paragraph. Okay. The other benefits of ISMS, chapter number 3, the entire paragraph is all about, are improving customer confidence, a competitive edge, better personal motivation and involvement, and reduced incident impact. Ultimately, these benefits increase profitability of the companies. Exactly. There is an international profession. And one more thing, students, when some other still now we got a case study is completely related to a bank, NBFC, something of a case study kind of thing. But this one is somewhat dry. This talking about the rules, about the definitions, about the big, mostly the entire concept itself. So such kind of things you must be careful and read slowly. Okay, don't get panicked by seeing such kind of paragraph which has no full stop and comma in between. Okay. There is an international profession association that provides management of companies about information technology management. Okay, there is an organization which provides the companies about their knowledge about information technology management, control and security, and IS auditors with guidance on various information technology associated risk and recommended practices. Okay. Many Indian companies have taken various international certifications, maybe ISO 27001, okay, to achieve clients assurance. It controls the dependency of any individual and puts reliance on the process. Okay, so they're mostly process oriented. So let me try it. Yeah. Okay. It controls the dependency of process. Okay. It certifies the companies, which mean that an independent certification body confirms that the implementation of information security in the company is under defined policy and procedures. Information system helps the company in taking strategic decision for the growth and increase its profitability in the competitive environment. Information system also plays a vital role in the enterprise collaboration and management and strategic success of the business that must operate in an inter-networked group environment and also facilitates e-business and e-commerce operation. In India, the latest concept of governance, risk and compliance (GRC), chapter number 1, so chapter number 3, chapter number 7, chapter number 1, has been regulatory requirement not only for listed companies but also for all type of all type of enterprises. Securities and Exchange Board of India (RBI), IRDA, and other regulatory authorities also support the concept of GRC and issue various rules and regulations. Based upon the facts of the case scenario given above, choose the most appropriate answer. 15.1, 15.5. Somewhat a bit dry case study compared to all of that we have seen till date, right? But don't worry, we have revised chapter number 1, 7, and 3, so this will be an easy one. Don't worry. In purview of the given case scenario, identify the model that helps the companies to maintain IT security through ongoing interrelated management of policy and procedure, personal training, selection and implementing effective controls, and reviewing their effectiveness and improvement. Okay, they want to have a model which is helping through. So if we see carefully, this one they need a model which can help in all these things. So if you see the options, first thing is ISO 27001, second is Sarbanes Oxley Act can't help you in, act can define things. It is not a IT model that helps us to get all the benefits given in the question. Then ITI is a structure, it's a framework for implementation. Okay. Then committee of sponsoring organization, also a committee, it has a lot of definitions of what to do, what not to do. So we have totally A and C in place. ISO 27001 standard that specifies how things to be done and what are the policy and process must be integrated and things to carry out. ITL is a framework which helps in rendering the services. So for the question says, what is the model that helps the company to maintain IT security and effective controls? It is given by ISO 27001. A bit tricky, but still. Then, in the recent years, cyber terrorism, theft of data, hacking, and denial of service attack on Indian companies' websites are alarming. From the above attacks, what is the main purpose of denial of service attack? So denial of service attack, why the what we got this question once more in the last case studies also. In denial of service attack, they try to they try to overload the system. They will not execute a trojan, they won't exploit a weakness, they won't try to shut down, but they try to overload, because the overload system will not function properly, and it may shut down. Okay, so the main purpose of denial of service attack is to overload the system so that it is no longer operational and cause inconvenience to the organization. Getting it? Then identify from the which of the following clause of the listing agreement issued by SEBI in India is a similar lines of SOX regulation. Very easy. Clause 49. From the starting of ISCA we have read this clause 49. Then corporate governance includes internal controls, enterprise risk management, etc. are covered under the provisions of. I think he has given, right? Let us corporate governance. So corporate governance is a question which is given in India. We will include in SEBI. So corporate governance including internal controls, enterprise risk management. We are not worried about Sarbanes-Oxley Act. We are not worried about Gramm-Leach-Bailey Act. So A and D are out of the list. So we have B and C. Information technology that never specified about any internal control. Okay, it's specified about authentication of the records, electronic signature, and penalties for the breach of any of the cyber terrorism kind of thing. So internal controls and corporate governance are dealt in clause 49 of the listing agreement of SEBI. Then in the social media risk management, the most important asset and IS ought to focus on what? So social media means you have your Facebook, Twitter, okay, your online presence. So in online presence, what is the main thing to focus? The in the online thing, if you don't comply a policy, the automatically system, the Facebook, YouTube or Twitter won't allow you. You'll be removed or you'll be stopped or you'll be banned. So compliance to policy is not the it's important, but not more important, because the question is the most important asset. The is auto looking is not for compliance to policy, because if there is non-compliance, your post will not be there in the social media, your accounts will be blocked. Okay, then corrective controls in place. Corrective controls in place is for who is operating, who is posting, those things. Okay, there's an internal thing can be managed. Type of service offered by social media, that is company to company, audit is not bothered, but what audit is bothered is brand and reputation. So how in social media any small damage will cause a lot of harm to the brand and reputation of the company. So while the audit on the social media risk management, the important asset what it focuses is on the brand and reputation generated on the social media for the organization. Okay, it's quite new, so it's a bit this para was a bit tricky, this case study was a bit tricky and dry, but still it is a good one. So be ready for such kind of case studies in the examination. Okay, so this will cover till the 13th, 14th and 15th case study, my friends. So next video will be the last video on the case study based MCQs, covering from 16th, 17th, 18th case study based MCQs. Then that will be the end of ISCA preparation. So again, you need to study right. And any other type of video you want me to make on ISCA preparation, do let me know in the comment section. I will definitely make it for you. Okay, and yeah, this is it for this ISCA preparation. So study well, stay home, stay safe, keep focused, and do ISCA for minimum 1 hour a day, and write one answer with saying, and remove the fear of ISCA from your mind for this examination. Okay, so all the best, take care.